That always gets everyone's attention. Good morning. I hereby call to order this 9th meeting of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission for the year 2023. I want to welcome everyone that's here with us and those that are watching us on our live stream. And now we ask you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So today's meeting, as you know, is open to the public, and we will act on various matters. There's no opportunity for the public to address the commission at this public meeting. However, the public meeting motion, statements, and video will be available on the commission's website later today. So our first matter for consideration is the approval of the minutes for June 15, 2023, and I will turn to Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Chairman. I've reviewed the minutes of the June 15, 2023 public meeting, and I move they be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. You have heard a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Yunora. Any further edits or discussion, corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0. And now, without objection, we will turn it over to the Secretary of the Commission, Rosemary Chiavetta, who will lead us through this morning's agenda.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Your various bureaus and offices have prepared the following agenda for your consideration. Therefore, let us begin with the recommendation of Director Monahan and the Bureau of Audits that the Commission should adopt the Universal Service Fund Charge Audit for the PECO Energy Company's gas division and release the audit report to the public.
Is there a motion to adopt this staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman DeFrank, second by Commissioner Zerfus. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 2. And matters presented by Acting Director Hafner and the Office of Special Assistance, it is recommended that the Commission adopt in an omnibus motion both items on page 2, beginning with the informal investigation by the PUC's Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement versus Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania, and continuing the omnibus on page 3 to include both items on page 3, and including the single item on page 4, ending the omnibus motion with the application filed by SMP Transport Company, LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Commissioner Yunora. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 5, and matters presented by Director Diskin and the Bureau of Technical Utility Services, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the proposed order in the petition approving the appointment of Kyle Barak to the Board of Directors of the PPL Sustainable Energy Fund of Central Eastern Pennsylvania.
Is there a motion to adopt this staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Yunora, second by Vice Chairman DeFrank. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Continuing at the bottom of page 5, it should be noted that the proposed opinion and order regarding the long-term infrastructure improvement plan of Aqua, Pennsylvania, has been postponed until the public meeting of August 24th, 2023. Turning to page 6, it is recommended in an omnibus motion that the Commission adopt both items on page 6, beginning with the Annual Price Stability Index and Service Price Index report of the Citizens Telephone Company of Kecksburg, and continuing on page 7 to include both items on page 7, ending the omnibus with the petition filed by the York Water Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Zerfus, second by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 8, and matters presented by Acting Executive Deputy Chief Counsel Screven and the Law Bureau. It is recommended that the Commission adopt the proposed order regarding the diversity policy statement.
Is there a motion to adopt this staff recommendation? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman DeFrank, second by Commissioner Zerfus. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Zerfus.
Madam Chair, Madam Secretary, I'd like to read a statement into the record, please. I'll read it as if I'm reading it in its entirety. But before the Commission today are proposed amendments to our existing diversity policy statement. These proposed amendments ensure that the policy statement is consistent with our recent diversity reporting regulations. I would like to thank Chairman Gladys Brown-Dutrell for her leadership in originally updating the diversity policy statement and then finalizing the diversity reporting regulations. These diversity policy statement provisions, coupled with our regulations, provide this Commission with valuable insight into the efforts utilities are making to attract the labor force, including the labor force generated through contracts and subcontracts that is essential to providing safe, reliable, efficient, and reliable service. Reasonable and reliable service, excuse me. Utility diversity programs can successfully leverage untapped talent pools in this time of increased utility workforce retirements, further supporting workforce development plans. Pennsylvania's jurisdictional utilities, as regulated monopolies, have distinct ties to their communities and are in a unique position to hire employees, contractors, and subcontractors that are representative of the communities that they serve. The utilities diversity programs impact and strengthen the relationships between the utilities and the customers that live and work in their communities, and ultimately the way customers are served. I commend the utilities for filing their first annual diversity reports in March of this year, and I encourage them to continue on with their diversity efforts. Moreover, I appreciate the leadership of Governor Shapiro and his administration in creating the Commonwealth Workforce Transformation Program this week, which, among other achievements, will assist Pennsylvania in growing its diverse workforce by using federal investments of the Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the Federal Inflation Reduction Act. This will create good jobs with family-sustaining wages and equitable pathways for workers from all communities. I appreciate the diversity and workforce equity actions of the administration, and I am excited for the Commission to engage in actions that continue to grow our diverse workforce here. I strongly believe that now is the time for this Commission to evaluate itself to understand if we are moving the needle to attract diversity of thought and diversity of perspective, and to celebrate and support people's differences. It is critical for us to be self-aware and mindful of our actions so that we can be an employer of choice and attract and maintain a strong workforce to ensure that Pennsylvania residents and businesses are receiving safe, reasonable, efficient, and reliable utility service. Thank you for indulgence.
Thank you, Commissioner Zerfus. I'd like to say, first of all, thank you for your comments, and I'd like to associate myself with your statement. Any further comments or statements? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 9, and matters presented by Chief ALJ Rainey and the Office of Administrative Law Judge. It is recommended that the Commission adopt the initial decision of ALJ Watson in the formal complaint of Kathleen Babyak versus Full Service Network LP.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Zerfus, second by Commissioner Yunora. Any discussion? I do have a motion I'd like to offer under discussion, so I would ask Vice Chairman DeFrank if he would preside.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I recognize you for your motion.
Thank you very much. I ask that my motion be spread upon a record in its entirety, and I will do an abbreviated version of it. The case before us today concerns a formal complaint filed by Kathleen Babyak, yes, against Full Service Network, a certificated competitive local exchange carrier that is authorized to provide local exchange telecommunication services to customers within Verizon Pennsylvania, Inc. and Verizon North, Inc. service areas in Pennsylvania. The complainant raised concerns with multiple instances of service interruptions and reliability problems. She also questioned the respondent's customer service adequacy, including the FSN's issuance of a service suspension notice to the complainant for a single non-payment, which in fact was caused by FSN's removing auto pay from the complainant's account. The complainant also alleged numerous other customer service violations by FSN, including FSN failed to investigate the auto pay removal, the unsatisfactory manner in which FSN's supervisor communicated with the complainant about that conduct, FSN's provision of inaccurate and erroneous information to the complainant, FSN's failure to explain or confirm information upon the complainant's request, FSN's failure to return numerous phone calls from the complainant, and its failure to record the complainant's request. I move today to remand the matter to the Office of Administrative Law Judge so that Verizon can be joined as an indispensable party, given that FSN provided service to the complainant using Verizon's leased network, and so the complainant's averments regarding service outages can be properly addressed. I believe that Verizon should be interpleaded as an indispensable party to this proceeding in order to address the service outages, particularly multiple service interruptions occurring as discrete events from summer to December in 2020. A remand of this matter will also allow for further explanation regarding any civil penalties imposed for violations not related to service outages. As part of the remand, the ALJ should provide a detailed explanation regarding how any civil penalties ultimately levied are consistent with Section 3301 of the Public Utility Code. Therefore, I move that, 1, this matter be remanded to the Office of Administrative Law Judge for the conduct of further proceedings as necessary to interplead Verizon Pennsylvania, Inc. and Verizon North, Inc. as indispensable parties, and 2, the initial decision on remand, the Office of Administrative Law Judge in the initial decision on remand, the Office of Administrative Law Judge shall provide further explanation regarding how any civil penalties ultimately levied are consistent with Section 3301 of the Public Utility Code. And 3, that the Office of Special Assistance shall prepare an opinion and order consistent with this motion. Thank you very much.
We've heard the motion from Chairman Dutrell. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Chairman Dutrell, seconded by Commissioner Zerfus. On the motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll now vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passes by a vote of 5-0. Is there any objection to taking the previous roll call? Seeing none, the motion passes the matter passes as amended by the motion by a vote of 5-0. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you.
Continuing on page 9, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the initial decision of ALJ Hoyer in the formal complaint of Joanne M. McGarity versus the Philadelphia Gas Works.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Vice Chairman DeFrank. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 10, it should be noted that the first item on page 10, the formal complaint of Victoria Whitaker versus the Philadelphia Gas Works, has been postponed to the public meeting of August 24th, 2023. Continuing at the bottom of page 10, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the initial decision of ALJ Gould in the formal complaint of Eloise Coleman and Robin Coleman Pleasant versus Aqua Pennsylvania Wastewater.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Unora, second by Commissioner Zerfus. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning to page 11, it is recommended that the commission adopt the initial decision of ALJ Pell in the formal complaint of Mary J. Nolan versus the Philadelphia Gas Works.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation? Is there a second?
Second?
Motion by Vice Chairman DeFrank, second by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Madam Chairman, that concludes regular agenda. Turning now to the carry-in agenda. On page 1 of the carry-in, it is recommended by the Office of Special Assistance that the Commission adopt the proposed opinion and order regarding a petition for reconsideration filed in the formal complaint of Matthew 4G, care of Megan 4G, versus the PICO Energy Company.
Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Zerfis, second by Commissioner Yunora. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Madam Chairman and Commissioners, that concludes all agenda items to be considered today.
Thank you very much. No other business to come before us. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Joint seconds of motion by Vice Chairman DeFrank, joint seconds of Commissioner Coleman and Yunora. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.